Guys, so I was just walking the show floor at the National, and I was looking at this display case, and I couldn't believe the quality of these two cards. A 1954 Hank Aaron in a PSA 8.5 and a 68 Nolan Ryan in a PSA 9. So I'm looking at the cards, and this gentleman, Mike, comes up next to me, and he goes, those are pretty nice, right? They're mine. So, Mike, these are your cards?
Yes, they're my cards. I consigned them to this dealer here, Bill Hughes, and hoping that he can sell them, but if not, I'm happy to keep them.
So you got to tell me the story of how you bought these cards, when you had them. You were just telling me before when we were on camera. I thought it was amazing.
All right, well, this card, actually the dealer brought it to me. He had just bought it and got it upgraded, and we thought that it had the potential to be upgraded even more. So I bought it from him and partnered with him so that if it gets a bump from PSA, we'll share the profit. But I'm happy to keep it because it's just a beautiful card. But we think that it's a very, very high quality 8.5.
So you bought it in a PSA 8.5 slot?
I did. He bought it in a 7 and got it upgraded to 8.5.
Wow.
So he made the big chunk on it. But I was just getting involved in cards at the time, and I wanted to have kind of a featured card. And I was reinvesting a bunch of money I had in something else, so I went for this one. And so, we'll see. One that's not as good as this sold for like $450 in a recent auction, so we feel pretty good about it, even though the other one was graded higher. But sometimes that doesn't matter. You can have a lower graded card that's actually better, because grading isn't scientific.
No, absolutely not. So you were telling me you used to be a quasi-card dealer when you were younger.
When I was a kid, I collected cards. I collected cigarette cards and Goudies. And when I went away to college, I sold them all. And in fact, I was telling Gordy that I sold a 1910 Ty Cobb greenback in excellent to mint condition for like $500 or $600, and I thought I killed it. And then a couple months ago, I saw the same card in a similar condition traded for like $600,000. So
think about that. A greenback Cobb back in the day for $500.
And that was a lot at the time.
It was a lot of money.
I think I made like $200 on it, and I thought I was like the king.
So you are somebody who views these cards as an investment. It's very clear to me just from talking to you.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
Well, the thing is that cards are collectibles. And so to the extent that collectibles are good investments, I think cards and other sports memorabilia are good investments because they have cultural significance, they're interesting, and they're rare. So in a world in which the government can print as much money as they want, if you have something that's a one-of-a-kind thing, it will usually go up in value. So I look at it kind of the same way you would look at a piece of art or a piece of land. Or something of that nature. Not a stock or bond, but something that's fixed. Like there's nobody's going to make any more of these.
There are very few of these 54 Hank Aaron's, or the other card, which we didn't even talk about, the 1968 Milton Bradley Nolan Ryan.
That's a really interesting card because in 1968, see, here's the thing with baseball rookie cards. In the old days, if you're a baseball player and you come up like Nolan Ryan in 1968, there's 50 or 60 or 70 rookies that year, and nobody knows who's going to be good, and so they put these cards up, and people don't really collect them because who cares?
Right.
He's just some rookie. He's not good. In basketball, the top 50 guys are already known to be great, so their cards get collected right away. So in baseball, you have the chance of, nobody knew who he was. Now he's the greatest pitcher of all time, and if you can go back and find a good condition card, it's worth a shit ton.
Right. And the 68 set especially, if you guys can see, the centering on this card is excellent. And of course, the Milton Bradley variation of the 68 Topps card is the most rare. This and the Venezuelan Topps version of the 68 Ryan. So to have this card existing in a PSA 9,
and you'll see the back,
it's insane.
It's actually not that well centered. It's a problem with 68s, but because the front is so good and it's so sharp, it's still got a 9, and it's a Milton Bradley.
So awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for showing me off. The 53 Jackie you had was amazing. Are there any cards that you're looking to buy here? Now that you're selling them, you're looking to get into something else? What's the next move?
That's interesting. I feel, here you go, put those back. I'm looking for the next opportunity. I'm looking for the next opportunity in cards. But I'm not actively collecting anything in particular at the moment. The only other card that I wanted to get was a 55 Clemente Topps, and I wasn't able to get it in good enough condition, and it's sort of too expensive for me now.
Sure. Let me ask you as well, what did you do in your career that allowed for you to get invested into baseball cards? What was your profession?
Started out after college, I was like a Wall Street guy.
Interesting. Like trading stocks?
Trading stocks and,
commodities and things like that.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to ask you if you had experience trading commodities, because that is so often the response I get when I talk to guys who invest in baseball cards. There's a lot of commodities traders.
Or stock
Oddly enough.
traders, I think, yeah. And then, let's see, I did that for a long time, and then I was in business with my family. We had a healthcare business, and then I was back in private equity, so mostly finance stuff. So investment and finance, and so
That's incredible.
I mean, I just think cards is a good way to diversify.
It is.
If you have, gold and art and other things besides the stock portfolio, and they're fun. Like my whole family collects. My wife collects basketball. My one son collects pokey. He collects baseball, and I collect a little of everything. So
that's so cool, man. There's something to collect for everyone. I couldn't agree more on the alternative investment piece.
And everyone should collect at their own level, But the thing is, always go for the better condition. Always pay a little more. Condition is really, really important when you're collecting. Like the same card, like that.
Start with what you can. My Hank Aaron's a 5.
Right, but then you just keep it. Like we started with the Sandy Koufax 5, and we just kept upgrading because once you have the 5, then you find a 6. You give a little bit more money, you get a better card. You keep trading up. So, but condition's really, really important for investing in cards because pay the big premium for the better condition.
I love that.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, man.
My
Best
pleasure.
of luck with the sale.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching this, please feel free to reach out to me if you have interest in the cards. I'd be happy to get you guys connected. So
And
thanks,
then,
guys.
take my number down and keep in touch.
I will.